Hello, Draker.
Well, Weili, it is great to see you again. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're very, very busy, so yeah, it's great to catch up with you. Just how are you doing? How are things? How is it with all the busyness?
Yeah, everything is good. This Fed week. Oh my God, a lot of media, crazy. 2 days I'm not stop, one, not stop. Oh my God, all
Oh,
days
I
media.
believe it. Is this the most that you've had to do?
Yes,
这是不是你接受采访最多的一次合作
yes,
周？
yes.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, another big title challenge in New York. Not your first time doing that, but like with all of these things going on, Weili, and the fight itself, does this feel, because I think it's one of the biggest female fights of all time, but is it feeling like that for you, or do you try not to think about that part?
大家都觉得这是最重大的一场女子格斗比赛，你自己也这么觉得吗？感觉上，你是不是也有这种感觉？
Yeah. I feel I feel very peace and calm. But this Saturday I'm very excited.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Cannot wait for it too. And I mean, I know that you're big on meditation, Whaley. So like, is that something you have to really hone in and lock in on when we do have these big fight weeks like this?
对，他说他知道你挺喜欢冥想的，是不是这次格
Yeah.
斗周你会花很多的时间去冥想，让自己准备
Oh
好？
my God, this fight week is more busy, so I don't have a lot of time. It's dedication, but evening I'm finished work. I can. Yeah.
Of course. And is that something you try to do year round, or like do you leave it just for fight camps? Like how often do you actually meditate to keep your mind nice and sharp?
你冥想的这个习惯是指在格斗周才会冥想，还是平时你
No,
都会冥想的？
no. Usually I have time. I can do is me dedication, not just fight week. Is dedication.
Of course. I mean, you always have to be mentally ready for just life in general, all the things that it can throw at you, right?
对，他说对呀、他说那肯定要让你的精神状
Yeah, I think dedication is for focus focus and very important.
Yes,
To
absolutely. And
know. Mhm.
all sorts of preparation that you have to do for these big moments, Whaley. A lot of people can't do these, and you have a great team around you. You've always been good at having good coaches and all that. And I'm very curious to ask you about some of them because I know you've been working with Josh Hinger for a good bit now, and I wanted to ask because he's kind of a very unique figure and has obviously helped you a lot. But I'm curious, what would you say are some of the most important things that Coach Hinger has taught you in your time working with him?
对呀、他说知道你的这个训练团队真的挺好的，尤其是 Josh 也跟你合作了很多次了。你觉得他教过你的最重要的东西是什么？
Josh is so good. Is help me a lot. I think is technique is just tell me like water, same like water, smooth like surfing. It's like yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Absolutely. And another one of your coaches, of course, is also a fellow fighter. I mean, Brad Riddell, a very, good guy to be learning from too. But it's kind of one of those interesting things where you have a coach who's also a fighter. But I'm curious, like from your perspective, seeing him fight as well and then working with him, what kind of is making Brad such a good coach for you, Whaley?
对呀、你觉得李德尔为什么觉得他是一个很好的教练？因为他自己也打比赛，对，所以你对他的评价看法是什么？
I think Riddell have a fight experience. Is he know is fight is what feel so is to coach I think is good.
Of course. And
他有很多经验。
对，so she wants to say that because Riddell that he has a lot of experience, so maybe the way that he coaches it's better resonate with me, So
yeah, of course. And do you think that's kind of a unique thing that coaches can have, like a lot of fighting experience with coaching? Do you think that helps them more than, let's say, a coach who has only had maybe, let's say, like three fights, a little bit of fights?
你会不会觉得这个教练他自己本身有很多比赛的经验，对他来说是一个很有好处的地方？
当然，这肯定的。
Yeah, yes, yes, of course. Yeah.
Of course, Whaley, and you've obviously continued to improve with every single fight, which is very impressive. Once you reach that championship spot, you haven't like stopped learning. You're always learning, which is really fun to see. And I think a lot of people would say that it's very obvious you've really worked on your wrestling a lot over the past couple of years, and especially working with Josh and all of that. But I'm curious, like, what you would say the most notable improvement of your wrestling game would be, and like how much have you learned from Frank Hickman as well? I want to shout out all your coaches. How much have you learned from Coach Hickman?
对，他说大家都能看到你一直都在进步，对吧？尤其是近几年你在这个地面技术、你的摔跤技术都是不停的进步。
Yeah.
他很想，真的提到你所有的这些教练
Okay.
对你的帮助
Yeah.
呢。说一下 Frank 吧。
Yeah, you know Frank is my is a wrestling coach, but I think he's best in the world is wrestling. Yeah, and Frank have a lot of energy. Yeah, yeah, good energy. Yeah, every day I see Frank coach, I feel very happy.
That's
Yeah,
good. You want to be happy to see your coaches. You don't want the opposite.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. And of course, Whaley, like I said, you're always learning with every new fight. And I think it's been one of those things too where we see when you fight certain opponents, you're very good at kind of adapting. Like you said, be like water. You kind of shape to the opponent in front of you. So like, I'm curious how conscious of an effort that is for you. Like, do you try to learn as much as you can from your opponents, whether it's obviously before, but then after you fight them, and how much you take away to move into the next fight?
对，他说，因为你自己也提到过像水一样，对吧？你也展现出来，在你的比赛当中，你其实挺有弹性的，你会就是兵来将挡，水来土掩。他想问你的是，你这种从你对手身上学到他们的特质，运用到以后的比赛当中去，是你在比赛之前会研究他们而已，还是说比赛之后你会想，哎，复盘一下这场比赛打得怎么样？我要学到什么东西啊？之后怎么运用？讲一下这个。
其实不管是比赛前还是比赛后，我们都会去非常认真的去研究比赛。而且我的就是教练们的理念跟我们的理念是全部都是一致的。
OK
就是我们非常的就是丝滑，就是 smooth，非常像水一样。对，其实我们所有人的理念就是一致的，所以我们练起来也会非常好。
Yeah, absolutely. That we definitely study our opponent pre-fight, also post-fight. But I think most important thing is that the whole coach team that we are very aligned in terms of our mentality, our approach. That we need to fight very fluid. Be flexible and be very adaptive.
Of course. And I mean, like, how difficult is that for you, Whaley, to kind of change and adapt your style and your tactics from fight to fight? Because, a lot of people, they will like to stick to where they're most comfortable, right? Fight their style that they do for every fight, no matter the opponent. But again, you're very flexible with how you approach fights. So how hard is that actually to, switch your mind to be able to kind of loosen up and be free that way?
所以说，你每一场比赛，你要真的做的能像水一样，非常流动性的，然后根据当时的状况去改变自己，这个到底有多难呢？因为大家都会很惯性的就是用自己习惯的方式去比赛，对吧？但是你每一场都要变化，随着对手去变化，艰难吗？这个过程？
其实我觉得就像一个开关一样，一旦你对这个感觉就是有了，然后你就会有那种身体的感觉了。
Okay. Yeah, it's like it's hard to explain, but once it clicked with you, you just get it. To me, it's like a switch, and it clicked with me, so I'm able to really control it that way.
And how long would you say it took you to kind of, be able to do that where you're comfortable in doing it, I guess you could say?
所以他想知道你花了多长时间才悟到了这种方式。
其实我觉得，从什么时候开始？从跟卡拉打完比赛以后，然后就慢慢的去感受，然后包括太极，就中国的太极也给了我很多的灵感。
Yeah. So I think I really started getting hand of it is probably after the fight with Carla Esperanza, but also the Chinese Tai Chi played a really big part of how I let all things click with me in that regard.
Of course. That's definitely a good shout, and we can see that in the work you've done. Would you say that you learned the most, like, overall from the Carla fight in terms of things you took from opponents in fights, or is maybe a different fight of yours stand out?
你觉得你所有打过的这场比赛是卡拉那场比赛让你学到的最多，还是说有其他的另外一场比赛你是学到的最多的？
其实我觉得每一场比赛我都从中间学习到了很多，对，所以我每次都非常感谢我的对手，然后可以跟我比赛。
I absolutely always learn something from my fight, each fight. So that's why I always very grateful for my opponent for fighting me. It's from the bottom of my heart.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously a very, very humble champion, Weili, but objectively one of the very best in the world, one of the very best of all time at this point. So like with all of that, and again, being how humble you are, I'm curious, where do you kind of view yourself, in terms of a fighter? And you have to believe that you're the best, right? But you don't want to maybe be I don't know, arrogant or cocky sounding sometimes, which I don't think you are, but a lot of people can maybe have that conflict. I guess, how do you view it in terms of the grand scheme of like where you are positioned as a competitor and athlete?
对他就是想让你谈谈你对你自己的一个认知吧，因为很显然你的确是一个非常优秀的顶尖的女选手，但是同时你又非常的谦虚，但他想问一下你对自己的这个认知和评价到底是什么？
其实我一直，虽然我就是打草量级已经是冠军了，但是我在我内心的深处一直觉得自己像一个学生一样，然后需要不断的去吸收很多新的技术，然后我对很多事情也保持着好奇，所以我一直感觉我还是一个新人，到现在我还一直感觉我自己是一个新人，对。
Yeah, even though I'm already champion with strawweight, but I always feel I'm a student. You know, there's a lot of things I can still learn. I want to stay curious, stay hungry, always have this curiosity for this world.
So with that in mind, Weili, would you say that you're the very best in the world right now, like among all female fighters? Do you believe that, or do we need this win? Where do you kind of feel with that?
他还是想问你，你觉得你是这个世界上最好的女选手吗？女格斗手吗？
我我我现在还在为这个目标在努力。
I'm still working towards it.
So then I got to put you on the spot again, Weili. But what does the Valentina this fight and like a win? What would a win over her prove to you about yourself? And that doesn't have to be just in fighting, but what would this mean to you, and just in terms of proving how far you've gone?
如果你真的赢下这场比赛，你觉得这证明了什么？就是从你的自身来说，如果你真的赢了这场比赛，
证明什么？我觉得首先，我觉得不要给自己设限，然后突破了自己。然后我也希望就是如果这场比赛赢了以后，也可以去让更多人有更多的粉丝有这种感受，就是不要给自己设限，因为你不做，你也不知道你能不能，你可不可以，所以我们一定要去敢于尝试。
Okay. Yeah, really the point I wanted to prove to the world, to the audience and fans is like don't set limit for yourself, right? I wanted to inspire people to not set limit for themselves. Just chase your dream. Try it.
Of course, and yeah, doing a great job with that, Weili. And I think that's a part of one of the interesting things with this fight. And I'm sure that you've been asked about this already, so I'm sorry to repeat one. But it was kind of surprising to me with you leaving the strawweight belt behind, and I imagine maybe you didn't want to do that, just kind of the sign of the times. But did you hope to kind of go for the double champ status where you have both of the belts at the same time, or what kind of came into play with leaving the belt behind for the strawweights?
对，他说他还是有一点惊讶，你会就离开草量级，然后去挑战银量级，所以他想让你谈谈你的为什么会决定这样做吧？这是你自己本身就想做的一件事情嘛？
对，
他说的是你为什么不能同时 keep 两条腰带，放弃一条？
因为现在就是新规则吧，我觉得。因为现在
是新规则。
对 UFC 的，因为现在就是 UFC 的新的规则，就是说如果你要想上量级的话，你就必须把你那个腰带空出来。对，所以，但是我觉得，我觉得这个是对我来说是没问题的，因为我想实现更高的目标，去突破自己的话，这肯定是要做出一些取舍的。对对对。
Okay, yeah, it's more of a policy thing. It's a rule that UFC has. If you wanted to challenge in a different division, you have to vacate this belt. But I think that's worth it, right? Sometimes you just have to give and take. You have to sacrifice for something to chase your dream.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that belt's still there. It's not going anywhere, right? There can always be an option to go and get it back if needed. But at the same time, Weili, I'm sure you're enjoying, a smaller weight cut and probably getting to enjoy some of the New York food a little more than you used to in the past. Yeah? No?
对，他想知道，因为你身重了，是不是就减重没有那么困难了？有没有吃着自己想吃的东西啊？不用那么的严格控制。
但是我觉得现在在格斗周还是非常严格的，因为就是希望自己吃得更干净，吃得更健康，然后保持更好的状态。所以等到想吃什么东西，等到比赛结束以后可以去尝试。
Right. Yeah. Even though the weight cut's not such a huge pain anymore, but still I try to eat clean. Still follow certain diet, so make sure my body's ready for the Saturday fight.
All right. Well, what are you most looking forward to eating after the fight then, Weili? What are you can't wait to get?
我就是想尝一尝一个是bagel，还是想尝一尝尝一尝就是披萨的有菠萝的和没菠萝的。
One, it's the bagels in New York because it's very famous, but also pizza in New York without the pineapple topping and with pineapple topping, just to do a little bit comparison.
Oh, all right, all right. We like the pineapple. I'm down for that. So it's a
他喜
controversial
欢
one.
吃带菠萝的，不带菠萝的。
All right, she wants to know, so pineapple on pizza, yes or no for
Yeah,
you?
I'm here for it. I think it's great.
Wow.
I don't
他喜
understand the
欢
hate.
带菠萝的。
Yes, of course. Making me hungry now, so I might have to go get some, Weili. But well, I don't want to keep you too long because, again, I know you're very, very busy. But again, I can't say thank you enough for the time, champ. I appreciate it. It is great getting to catch up with you. And I wish you the best of luck for all of your fights. It's always very, very fun to get to watch you. And just best of luck. And I hope you get to enjoy the rest of time in New York. But just thanks so much again. A big shishi for taking the time.
有什么？
对，他就想祝你好运，然后很感谢你能花时间受他的采访。
哦，我也非常感谢他。然后我听我朋友说，因为他很早之前，在我还没有第一次打 UFC 的时候，然后就写了就是还没有大家认识我的时候，他就写了一篇文章。所以我也非常感谢他对我的关注吧。然后我也很开心今天可以接受他的访谈，然后也希望以后我们有更多的访谈。
Yeah. By the way, she really wants to express this to you. She hasn't done that with any other interviewers because she says that you're very special because when she was pretty much nobody, wasn't famous, but you already pay attention to her, write about her. So she's really appreciative of that. So she says, yes, I want to have more interviews with you in the future, and good luck to you as well.
Yes, thank you, Weili. I was actually going to ask you that if you remembered that we did that. I think that was like 6 or 7 years ago now. Yeah.
2018.
Yeah, crazy. It's been a long time. And I was always curious because I named that story, Weili Zhang, remember the name. Did you take the title and use that for your famous slogan? Is that where you got it from?
因为他当时写那篇文章就说记住
Remember
我的
me.
名字张伟丽 ，Remember me。
Yeah.
他说你一说那句话，
Yeah.
是不是就从那个地方来的？
Yeah. Okay, this time I speak this.
Of course, of course. Well, all right, Weili. Yes, very special indeed. Thank you so, so much again. And always glad to chat whenever. And I wish you the best of luck, champ. So enjoy the time. Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right.
Have a good
See you
day.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Yes, see ya.